What is up, YouTube? It's your friendly neighborhood running bald man back again for another video. So today I'm going to do something a little different. Normally, for those newcomers, I do reaction or whatever videos to music that I haven't listened to or wouldn't normally listen to. I also do a story time, a heavily adult themed children's book. Um, so those are on here. I'm trying to figure out how to sort through those, get those in little folders essentially. Um, I haven't put too much time in it. But today I'm going to do the future of the Big Ten with the addition of USC and UCLA in recent times to the Big Ten. Um, I thought I'd see or talk about how, what the hell is that? That's not what I want. Maybe it is. I'm just trying to click on pictures so I can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I personally think it's going to be down to the Big Ten, SEC are the only two conferences left by 2030. Um, I really do think that it's just going to come down to two. Those seem to be the two that are most aggressive with their additions. SEC added, I don't know, a couple teams that, who was it? Oklahoma and Texas uh, to their, what, next year? 2023? I think they're joining the the SEC. Um, as you can guess, probably from my intro, I am an Ohio State fan. I live in Kentucky, but I was born in the great Buckeye State, and I refuse to say I'm a Kentuckian. I'm an Ohioan at heart. You can take the boy out of Ohio, but you can't take the Ohio out of the boy. So my Buckeyes and Browns, can't really see it, but I've got, if anybody remembers when the Browns came back to the NFL, 99 I believe it was, Bird King up there had little dog, these little guys, little beanie babies. Yeah, it was 99. They had five of them. I've got all of them plus their little cardboard bleachers that they sit on. Here in my office, get you sitting back up there. Yeah, I recently bought the house, so I'm still trying to figure out where I've got everything sitting. I know I've got a Brutus that plays the fight song. But yeah, so anyway, I'm rambling. The future of the Big Ten. Currently, we have Sparty, Illinois Illini, Purdue, IU Hoosiers, Wisconsin, that team up north that shall not be named, Scum. Yeah, that's a good name, Scum. Um, we're getting UCLA, USC. We have the Iowa Hawkeyes, Maryland Terrapins, Penn State Nittany Lions, Rutgers, Minnesota Golden Gophers, Nebraska and Northwestern, and last and definitely not least, the Ohio State University. But yeah, so that's it for now. There's talks about Notre Dame possibly joining, or there's an offer out to Notre Dame. Really, Notre Dame just needs to get off their high horse because they're not that great. They do have a good crowd enjoying the Big Ten. I mean, we've got the vast majority of their rivals. So what? They have Scum, Sparty, USC, and I know there's another rival or two in there that I'm missing out on. But right there, you've got a conference who's loaded with your rivals. Join up. Because really, the Big Ten, they're going to have one or two non-conference games by the end of all this. Notre Dame's not going to get to play those teams every year then, and that's just not right. Um, there's what, two divisions in the Big Ten now. I could kind of see it going to four and having like a little mini playoff within the Big Ten um, for the Big Ten title game. You know, do a conference and then playoff, a divisional playoff or conference playoff, like the NFL does, and you can probably hear the cat. You can just see her head there. Um, but yeah, so let's look at what other teams are out there right now. We have the Big 12 with Oklahoma State, the other OSU. Um, I believe this is Kansas. Or no, it's not Kansas. Yeah, that might be Kansas. There's another Iowa, um, Baylor, TCU, Texas Tech, Kansas Jayhawks, and West Virginia. Yes. uh, you know, that's not really a big conference remaining. I really see a lot of those teams going to the Big Ten and SEC. Uh, maybe by 2026, there's not going to be a Big 12. That's my pure speculation, but yeah. ACC. ACC will be the last conference, I think, that stands, that holds true without really losing any members. But eventually they're going to fall. They're going to fall and split up between the Big Ten and the SEC. Um, and really looking at it, there's not that many big name teams, football wise, that are really needed. Maybe if Big Ten and SEC decides to have a basketball focus, I could kind of see them. But I really think ACC is going to be the last of the Power Five to remain before they all consolidate into two. And then the Pac-12, I've already taken out UCLA and USC and put those in the Big Ten. But we have Oregon, Utah, I guess this is Arizona, Colorado Buffaloes, another Arizona team, Cal, a Washington, Oregon Beavers, Stanford, and then another Washington. I could really see quite a few of these joining the Big Ten or wanting to join the Big Ten. I believe Oregon and one or two others have already requested to join the Big Ten. Of course, the conference has put their additions on hold until Notre Dame makes a decision. But yeah, I could definitely see those some of those join the Big Ten. But let's get into who I think is going to if I can talk, going to join the Big Ten. Out of the Pac-12, we have Oregon, Stanford, Washington, Colorado, Arizona, and Utah. Oregon and Washington, they really feel like Big Ten schools. The Buckeyes have had a mini rivalry with the Oregon Ducks. I think they would be a good fit for the conference. Same with Washington. It's you get that northeastern market with those two schools, and then you have Stanford. Academically, they're one of the harder ones to get in, harder schools to get into, and maybe I'm biased, but the Big Ten is basically a poor man's Ivy League, in my opinion, and Stanford is along those lines. So academically, I do really think that they would join the Big Ten, or will fit in the Big Ten. Then we have Colorado Buffaloes. I believe they were in the Big 12 at one point. they would be a nice jumping off point to those West Coast schools, to the UCLA, the USCs. Um, and then in our traditional conference, Scum, Sparty, Illinois, the Ohio State University. It'd be a nice little jumping off point. Could make it a road trip, basically. Go out there, pick a week when, classes are off or something for whatever school, a holiday week. Go out to Colorado, play your game, go out west for another week, play another game or two, even. That would be interesting. Do double weekend games. So play Colorado on a Thursday night, and then Friday, Saturday, whatever, go to California or once on Oregon or whatever, Washington. Go up there and play a couple of schools. Make a weekend out of it. But let's jump it off. I've got Notre Dame down the corner here because Notre Dame, they might as well join the Big Ten. I've said it plenty of times. Everybody's said it. Notre Dame needs to suck it up and join the Big Ten. They can still have their TV deal with, who is it, NBC, ABC, for home games. Away games, for their away games, you're on the Big Ten Network or you're on Fox. Deal with it. You still hold on to your TV deal and get that money. Maybe you split it with the conference. But you're also making how much money from the conference TV schedules? I mean, from the Big Ten Network itself. You're pulling in some from that. You're pulling in some from the Fox deal. So what? You have to split it with other schools. You've got enough money with your own special deal with the TV network. And your tuition right there, you've got enough. You've got enough money. But yeah, Notre Dame, join the Big Ten. Get over yourselves. The Big 12, or whatever they're going to call themselves, I only have 3 schools that are joined. I'm predicting to join the Big Ten out of there. We have West Virginia, a Kansas, and a Baylor. Baylor gives the Big Ten Conference that Texas market. That's a big market. We do not want to lose out on that. We've got California secured up with UCLA and USC joining. Make a move at Baylor. That'll give us Texas. That'll pull that market in. Pull that southern market in there with them. And I think they do have a fairly decent educational program. Kansas, it helps secure up the Central Americas. And by Central Americas, I don't mean down to like Panama City or Mexico. I mean Central U.S. So Kansas, yeah, you fit. I mean, you've got Nebraska right there too. It's a straight shot up, basically. Play your game and go home. West Virginia. Really the only reason I put them in the Big Ten or joining the Big Ten would be their location. I mean, they border Ohio, obviously, and then they've got Pittsburgh right there, or Pennsylvania. 2 of the predominant Big Ten states. Yeah, Pennsylvania is not really a historically Big Ten state, with Penn State joining later in the conference. But really, you've got Ohio State, Penn State. Penn State is up there with Ohio State and Scum as far as being names for the conference. They belong there. I mean, I feel it. And they kind of got they've got that blue collar mentality too, like Ohio, Pennsylvania, that state up north. If you look at all of the Big Ten states, there's a blue collar mentality until you go out west to California. Uh, Not the saying that Californians don't work hard. It's just, I don't know, the whatever the word is I'm thinking of, they don't have the perception of the work ethic that the Midwest states do. Uh, Coal mines, that sort of thing. And then like the ACC, the last conference to fold. We have Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Pitt, again Pennsylvania. Excuse me, Pennsylvania because Penn State. Those two are in-state can be in-state rivals. Um, Plus, they do have a history with the Big Ten. Uh, I forget who it is. The one, somebody on ESCCPN. Um, a big Ohio State hater. Oh, I can't think of his name. I can picture him. But yeah, the Buckeyes put up quite a score on him. He's still bitter about that. So I could see them join just so they could try to get some payback for that. Um, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Pitt, North Carolina. They're coming up. They're slowly getting there. They're kind of the bottom tier football team, but they help pull some basketball into the conference. Boston College, Flutie, I think it was, went to BC, so they can have a good football history. And then Florida State Seminoles, the Noles. We've got to get one of those Florida schools too. Um, that'll help secure that southernmost U.S. market with Florida State. And they really feel like they belong. Looking at their logo, it feels Big Ten. Logo just feels Big Ten. So, I know I've talked a lot about the Big Ten, but let's talk about the other conference that's going to be there. The SEC, the Southeastern Conference. I'm obviously not a big fan of them. You can see who all they have right here on the right. And then we have on the left who from the other conferences are going to join them eventually. Big names, or the names that kind of stand out. TCU, yeah, that feels like an SEC school. Um, Excuse me. And Duke, they're predominantly basketball anyway. They're known for basketball, so they fit in there. SEC definitely has a bunch of basketball schools. Being in Kentucky, I know the Kentucky Wildcats, obviously University of Kentucky. So I have the University of Louisville Cardinals, or since I'm local, Louisville instead of Louisville, but people just need to get over it, the pronunciation. That's a big rivalry here. In-state wise, it's probably Ohio State versus Scum. That's what they would equate it to. But really, it didn't hold a candle. People here don't know. They don't know football. Maybe farther south they do. But in this state, no, they don't. They don't know football. They think they know football, but they don't know football. They know basketball, but not football. Miami University feels like an SEC school. Gives them Florida, which they already had it with Florida Gators, but it gives them another Florida team. Excuse me, I need to drink some more coffee. and we have Cal out west. They're in California. They're gonna want to get some of that California West Coast market. They need to get Cal, and then Oregon Beavers. I think they are another one. They're the Washington Cougars. I think they are. Um, helps them secure up the West Coast and get in that market. Um, they already have Oklahoma here coming in. Oklahoma State, I see them joining up too. But yeah, so get rid of that SEC. Back to the Big Ten. I'm so ready for football. It's not too far away too. We just had the NFL Hall of Fame game there earlier this week. It's not much of a game, but it's still football. It's seeing football players in pads and helmets, in uniforms, jerseys, whatever, play football. Of course, it's not football I grew up with. You know, you look at a quarterback and you get a flag. But anyway, that is my thoughts on the future of the Big Ten and the other conference. Like I was saying at the beginning, I think by 2030 it'll just be the two conferences. ACC is going to be the last to give in. Really, I see the Pac-12 or the Big 12 um, folding. I could kind of see the Pac-12 folding into the Big 12 first. Um, Once Notre Dame makes a decision, Big 10 will get a few more of those Pac-12 schools. Uh, the Rangers will fold into the Big 12. I could see the SEC making a play at some of those Pac-12 schools that remain. Um, but yeah, so that is going to do it for today. That's my thoughts on the future of the Big Ten and college football. YouTube, you guys have a good day. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, whether I'm wrong or not, or how. Tell me if I let the school off. Yeah. So you guys have a good weekend. Go Buckeyes. OH!